Hello, everyone. Good evening to you. Um, so we had a webinar today, and most persons were. Thank you for joining in. Can you confirm if you can hear me? Okay. So if you can confirm, if you can hear me, that'll be great. Can you hear me? Good evening. Can you confirm? Hello. Can you hear me? Good evening. Thank you for joining in. So, can you hear me? Is it clear? So I can get started. Just confirm if you can hear me, please, then we can get started. Hello, hello. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. So I think there was a bit of a network lag. Thank you for confirming that you can hear me. So we had a webinar today, and many persons did not join because maybe they were at work because the webinar was around 10:30 a.m. Nigerian time and 9:30 a.m. UK time. So I just wanted to do a quick recap for those that missed it so that you can catch up on that. This video may not be saved on the live because we're using a streaming software, so we may not be able to save it. So pay close attention. We have we're on YouTube, so the video will be recorded and then posted on YouTube, so you can follow our YouTube channel. It's the same name, Study Abroad Fevata. We are also on TikTok. We are on Facebook or on LinkedIn. So this video will be available on all our platforms. Okay. So let me just get started. So we posted details about a new destination webinar, and I just want to show you the things that we talked about in the webinar. All right, so we're introducing a couple of new destinations. We have we still process for the UK, though I know a lot of persons do not like the UK because of the new immigration restrictions. I'm going to talk briefly about that and then talk about new opportunities within the UK still. And then we'll talk a bit about Canada. We talked about Germany a little bit, Netherlands, Ireland, Malta. Okay, so these are the new destinations that we'll be launching in 2024. In fact, we've commenced already, but obviously Christmas is coming. Christmas is just Monday, and a lot of schools have gone on holidays, so processing of application may not be very fast at this point until they come back from the holidays in January. But it's good for you to prepare yourself, know what sort of documents you need, know what sort of finance you need to have. Okay, so I'm really excited to talk to you guys about this destination today. All right, so let's get straight into it. All right, so about us, Sabata, we are an education agency. We also process visiting visas. So we process education basically as a major service, but then we also offer services for those who just want to travel to work as well. So if maybe you got a job somewhere to work a work visa and you like us to process the visa application for yourself, then yes, by all means, we provide that service as well. Then we also provide support in terms of like booking of flight tickets, getting cheap tickets. We have partners, reliable partners that give you at a cheap price. Then we also provide after sales support. So people who have come to study in the UK that, I want to get a job in this aspect, what do you advise? That support throughout the period where you're studying, it's always there available for you to access at any point in time. Okay. And so just moving on to the next slide, just to touch on a few testimonials. So we have over 400 reviews on our website. You can go to our website and check our reviews at www.fevatratravels.com/reviews. But I just have a snapshot of some of our reviews here. So we have the first one here, which is the client success story. So, when we deal with our clients, we don't stop at just processing your visa and then have zero communication whatsoever. We don't stop at that at all. We continue to support you throughout your study period. And one of our clients who came to the UK to study, she sent me a message and said, guess what? My husband and I just bought a house. We just want to say thank you for the support that you provided us, with the advice and, what to do. And, when we started the conversation, when they first contacted us, it was about, what course should I go for? What's your advice? And we, advised on the course it should go for. And when he came to the UK, the husband got a job, got sponsored, the wife got sponsorship. In fact, they were even struggling between who's going to go with what sponsorship, and now they're fully settled. So we have lots of reviews like that and feedbacks from our clients who are now settled in the UK, and that really gives us joy. And you can read more about these reviews on our website. And then we have a study visa. This year we launched on Canada. We were focused only on UK after last year, but this year we said let's take on Canada because we had lots of inquiries coming in for Canada, and our clients were like, if you're not going to start Canada, then I'm not going to Canada. I'm waiting for you to get started before I, go on Canada, because whatever your advice is fine by me. And we said, okay, fine, let's dive into Canada a bit. And we have a Canada approval just there. We have so many, well, I can't put everything on the screen, obviously. So that's why I provided a snapshot so that you can see the Canada visa approved for one of our clients going to study. And you can see the date is now like this month on 8th of December 2023. You can see the date on the screen in the snapshot. Then we also process visiting visa for many clients as well. So for those who are interested in not studying, maybe they want to go on visit to UK, to Canada, you can contact us for that, all right? So let me move on to the next slide. So why Canada? A lot of people will say, okay, if I go to Canada, I can settle very quickly, to get PR. There are lots of opportunities. I don't mind the cold, and it's close to the US, and there are a lot of benefits when you have your PR for Canada. So we have different pathways that you can use to go to Canada, apart from the study pathway, which everyone knows about. You can, on the study pathway, on the graduate program, postgraduate programs, PhD available, lots of scholarships are available as well. We also have a CCA program, which does not require, a degree certificate to access. The minimum requirement for the CCA program is the WAEC. We've had many webinars about the CCA, but, we keep getting lots of interest, and that's why we keep coming back to tell you about it. So what the CCA program basically is the continuing care assistant program, and it allows you to work as a care assistant in Canada as a qualified care assistant. So it's a program that lasts for 9 months, and then after 9 months, you work for 2 years. After the 2 years, you become eligible to apply for a permanent residency through the graduate in demand scheme. So now the location is Halifax, and usually people want to study in other locations or work in other locations, but because there is a shortage in the occupation of that, for that particular job, that skill, that is why this program was introduced. Initially, when it started, there was about 20,000 Canadian dollars available in scholarship, but now that scholarship has been scrapped, unfortunately. But there are loads of opportunities to pay your fees in installments. So, and in the first instance, you pay a $1,000 Canadian dollars registration fee, and then before you take off to Canada, once your visa has been approved, you pay 10,000, which is the second deposit, and then when you arrive, you can negotiate and get about 3 months break before you pay the final balance. It's a perfect opportunity for a lot of persons who want to go to work in Canada. And obviously, when you're done with this particular route, if you get a PR, you can decide to move anywhere else, to live with your family. And it also allows family to come in. And it's a very, very good program. And the visa success rate is very high because it's a government-supported program. It's a government-initiated program. So they know why you're coming. Though you're going to have an interview with the university, with the college first, before you apply for your visa. However, the interview is not academic base, is not to assess or what's your academic or what all of that, and that's why the minimum is the WAEC. But what you're looking for is to check your suitability for the program overall, right? If you qualify, if you can actually handle working with people and all of that stuff. So If you want to know more about the program, you can reach us on WhatsApp. The WhatsApp number is scrolling at the bottom of the screen. If you can see that, you can contact us on WhatsApp and we'll tell you more about that particular program. The proof of fund, just really quickly, for this particular CCA program is about 10,000 Canadian dollars, but with the new change now, doubling that amount, you're looking at twice that amount. So let's say roughly 21K Canadian dollars to put in your account, but it doesn't really affect your dependents as well. So we do all of the calculations for yourself. If you need like a support, a study loan, we can also provide or direct you on how you can get that actually sorted. Okay, so that's all for that Canada pathway. I'm just in a summary. So if you want to hear the full details of everything, you go to our YouTube channel. The video for the replay has already been posted, and I will drop a link. I'll drop a link so that you guys can access that. Okay. So the next one is the UK. So most persons already know about the UK, the new changes that are coming up and all that. But obviously, like I mentioned a couple of days ago, I think last week, all of these things are happening because of the elections. Obviously, by the time the election is over, we'll definitely see some changes because again, the universities here depend heavily on international students and they'll soon start feeling the heat, and obviously changes will start coming in to kind of like soften all of these immigration policies, but still you should not rely on only the UK. There are lots of places that you can go to, and that's why we are bringing up all of these new destinations to you. Now we have a good news for those who in the past have contacted us to say, okay, I was studying at a university in my home country, but obviously some things happened. I could not finance it anymore and I had to go and work. Now we have online programs for yourself that you can do to enable you have access to like a master's degree later on. So we have like the HND program, we have the High National Certificate, we have level 6 and level 7, and some of these programs when you check the equivalence, it's equivalent to a first year's bachelor's degree. So year 1 of a bachelor's degree, level 3 and level 4. Level 5 is equivalent to a bachelor's, top-up and pre-masters, and then level 6 and 7 is equivalent to a master's degree. Now, when I tell you the amount, you're going to be really, really shocked at how cheap this course really is. So the duration is 3 to 6 months. However, you can finish in 3 months. What this does for you is to reduce the cost of how much you spend. So a standard pre-master's program, my course, or a top-up, might cost you around 12,000 to 18,000 pounds. It depends on the university, to be honest. So averagely, you could fall around 14K, or if worst case scenario, after scholarship has been applied, you can fall around 12,750 or 13. Now, after paying that for 1 year, for your 1 year pre-master's tuition, then you go on to do a master's, and that would be like twice the amount. For some schools, depending on the course, again, can pay up to 20,000. So rather than coming to the UK or traveling elsewhere to do your pre-masters, this program affords you the opportunity to do the pre-masters, which is a preparation for the masters to make up your academic grade. It affords you the opportunity to do it in your home country. So what that does for you is to save you money on visa fees, save you money on accommodation, save you money on travel costs for your flights and feeding and all of those living expenses that you would normally incur if you were to go study physically on campus. So, and it is a faster option. So what that means is that instead of doing a pre-masters for 1 year, you can actually do a pre-masters for 6 months, and accelerated, you can complete it within 3 months. So there is no pressure on yourself to actually, because of visa, my visa is going to expire, or it is actually self-paced. There is no rush, though there is a deadline. Obviously, you work within the time frame, but you can actually complete it faster than the stipulated time. Right, so let me just show you very quickly the course fees. So the course fees for level 3 is 1,750. For level 4 is 2,000. Remember, the level 3 and level 4 are equivalent to the first year of a bachelor's degree. Level 5, if I go to previous slides so that you can see that, level 5 is a higher national diploma, HND. Okay, so that HND, if you're doing HND in the UK, you pay 2,250. Now level 6 which is for, equivalent to a master's degree level 6 or level 7, or let's go back to level 5, really equivalent to a bachelor's and a pre-master's, right? For that level 5, you end up paying 2,250. So can you compare paying £14,000, okay, £14,000 for a pre-master's in the UK, as opposed to paying 2,250? That is a massive, massive discount, a massive discount, just a massive savings on the amount you would have paid. So you still come to the UK to do your master's, because when you decide to go on this online course and do this pre-master's or the top-up, we will also handle your progression application. So we're not just you're gonna do an online, then we'll leave you there. No, we're also gonna handle your progression. So your certificate is recognized when you get it, it's acceptable, within UK universities and abroad. So that affords you the opportunity to actually save on costs. So you can see level 6 and 7 is 2,500 and 3,000, respectively. And then you have the courses available. We have cybersecurity, health and social care for those who are interested in studying a nursing degree and they do not have the relevant experience or academic qualification, can do a level 3 to 5 on health and social care. Hospitality is there, human resource management, we have IT, international business, occupational health, and safety. So there are lots of options that you can actually choose from. Now, why choose online? Why choose online? It's not, a lot of people want to travel. A lot of people want to, travel abroad. Like, I want to have that experience of, coming to the UK to actually study. So why should I not do online? The thing is, it's going to save you a lot of money. Number one, the speed of completion is one of the reasons. Speed of completion. So you're going to complete faster than you normally would. So if you're going to do a pre-master's, you spend 12 months and then another 12 months for master. That is a total of 24 months. And if you're going to consider the living expenses, it's going to be a lot, especially if you're still interested in the UK. As much as the rules have changed, many international students are still pouring into the country. For some reason, everyone just, many persons just like the UK. There's just something about the UK, isn't it? So the speed of completion will help you faster to complete. It's a cheaper option if you compare £14,000 to 2,250. It's not, it's a massive gap, isn't it? It's a massive, massive, massive gap. So you're going to save a lot of money when you do a pre-master's online or the top-up online, and then you can go on to do your master, and it gives you time to actually prepare, isn't it? For if you're going to bring your family, if you're going to, whatever it is you're going to do, it gives you that time to prepare. Then you also have a progression. All right, so progression route is also there. When you finish your pre-masters, you graduate onto your masters, or when you finish it, then we apply for your progression to any course that you so desire. And then the last one is visa hassle-free. So, obviously you're not dealing with visa, you're not under any kind of pressure, you're doing it within the country, you're doing it online, you don't have to go into any sort of physical classes, you have all access to study materials at any point in time, and then you can get access to a tutor as well if you require a tutor. Okay, now this program is good for those who have a third class, they want a pre-masters to study in the UK. It's good for people who have just the WAEC, they just want a little bit of a boost, and they're like, okay, I want to do an HND first, and yet, I go on to do, a top-up or something. And there are some people who say, I have an HND and I want to do a top-up to get a BSc honors. This program is good for you. And those who say, okay, I've studied year 1, year 2, year 3, and then all of a sudden I have financial difficulties and then had to stop school and go to work. We have so many clients like that. This opportunity is for you to go back to school, to actually assess quality education in your home country, and then still be able to travel abroad to complete a master's program. Okay, so let people know. You may be listening to me now, you feel like, okay, I'm not in any of this category, but you may have someone who needs to hear about this. Do let them know that this opportunity is available, because we've had clients in the past who say, I want to study abroad. This is the challenge I have, but no school is willing to accept me. Or you don't have, you have a WAEC, you don't have a C6, or you don't have a C5. There's an English test you can write. It's called the Oxford ELLT. You can write that in a place of IELTS. So a lot of people want to travel, they want to study, but their course they've chosen requires an IELTS, and they are scared of writing IELTS. And IELTS takes so much time, right? 1 week here, it's a long time, or maybe 2 weeks or so. And then, you write it and you're afraid, you get nervous because of this. A lot of people writing the standard design and all that. There's a cheaper alternative for yourself to write. It's called the Oxford ELT. I'll talk more about that in January when we come back from work. We're going on holiday today, so yeah, I'll talk about more about that. So this is for this particular program. Okay, now we touched on the webinar. We talked about Malta as well, which is a hot destination. We'll be having a webinar in January 4th, to talk about Malta. So those details will be available on our platform. We'll post it so that you can register and be prepared for that. Malta is a great destination. It's in Europe, Schengen country. It has great links, across all the countries that it's a member state, and then you can work as a student 20 hours per week, as just like the UK. You can visit other countries. You don't need visiting visa for Schengen countries. You can get a job in another Schengen country while you're living in Malta. It's a beautiful transportation place, place you can go sightseeing. I heard that, you can, some of the public transport is even free. So, and then you have Germany as well. People want to go to Germany. We had a couple of inquiries for Germany. And the good thing is that with Germany, you don't even need to keep a bank statement for 6 months. Once the school receives the block funds you send to the government designated accounts, that solves the whole problem. So as opposed to Canada, where you need 6 months, 4 to 6 month bank statement, Germany, you need to send the money. Once it's there, the visa is as good as done. You need to meet other academic requirements, and it's quite a strict process, but we'll talk more about Germany next year. Okay, so Germany, Netherlands, another destination we touched on. With Netherlands, you need to have all of your tuition fee ready. The school is the one who handles visa application. So that way, you know that your visa is as good as guaranteed. The only downside is you need to pay all of your tuition fee. You need to pay about 3 months of your accommodation ahead so that you're not stranded when you get there. So for people who have their money for Netherlands, there are lots of job opportunities in Netherlands. So for those who have their funds ready to go, then that's fine. You can choose Netherlands as an option. Then you have Ireland as well. We'll be talking about Ireland, launching that destination next year. Though for Ireland, you can't travel with family. That's the only downside. However, you have lots of big companies headquarters in Ireland, and lots of people want to go to Ireland. It's beautiful, and you also have the post-study option as well. So all of the uncertainty with UK making people want to go to other destinations. So we're trying hard as much as possible to ensure that we bring all of this information to you. Just to chip in a little bit about Malta again, in terms of the proof of funds for Malta, you need 13,000 euros. And the 13,000 euros, you need an account statement of maybe 3 months. The account has to be mature up to 3 months, but the money in the account doesn't have to be up to 3 months. So you can have your funds ready this week and apply next week. Isn't that lovely? So that makes it a bit easy. So people are like, okay, I don't have money to wait and all that. As long as your account is mature, is up to 3 months old. Sometimes you go to bank will say to you, we cannot give you reference because your account is not up to 6 months old. So in this case, your account needs to be old. Account age needs to be 3 months, but the funds needed, 13,000 euros, doesn't need to be in the account for 6 months, 3 months rather, sorry, for 3 months. So it can be 1 week, can be 3 days. Yeah. So that makes it a bit easy, isn't it? So Malta is a very good destination to study. So stay tuned, stay connected to us. Follow us on all our platforms, on TikTok, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on YouTube. The webinar replay will be on YouTube, is already there. So if you go on YouTube and study Abrofebata, you find it, the replay there. So if you have any questions, I will just check if there are any questions you want to ask me. If there are any questions, you can post it. Okay, if there are no questions, or if there are any questions later, you can send it across to our WhatsApp number, which is scrolling on the screen, and then we would attend to you. Please remember that we care so much about you as an agency, and we look forward to receiving your inquiries, and we wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year ahead of time. Thank you so much for joining this live. Have a good evening, and I will see you next year.